You are not your body. You are so much more. Of course, you are that person on the inside, not just a body. But as we get older, that becomes much more important to understand, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm Betty, and on my channel I share ways that I've been finding for us to be able to live long and to age strong, body, soul, and spirit. When you look in the mirror, it's really easy to see that face and think, that's me, that's the real me, that's what everybody sees, but you know that really the real you is the person on the inside. And I'm starting to see that this is even more important to understand as we're getting older, and I'm about to show you why. But I got started thinking about this a couple of weeks ago when I was on a retreat in Switzerland with a group of people, and there was another group in the youth hostel where we were staying. It was a youth group. And one night I was lying down, resting and getting ready to go to sleep, and out in the hallway, I heard some sounds, and this whole youth group was out there in the hallway, and they were chattering and talking, and it would get a little bit louder, and they were joking and laughing, and it got to where they were shouting, and then somebody'd say, shh, 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 be quiet, it's getting late. And so they'd get quiet, and then they'd start talking, and the volume would go up, they'd be back up to shouting again, and this went on for at least 15 or 20 minutes. And I could have been that grumpy old lady and stick my head out the door and say, guys, be quiet, I'm trying to get to sleep. But I didn't. You know why? It's because I was enjoying every moment of it. When I heard that, it took me back to when I was a teenager and I was in a youth group, and we'd go on retreats and we would stay up late and just be crazy and enjoying each other. Specific things came to mind, like when we just lie down on the floor on our sleeping bags, on our backs, and we'd have contests throwing M&Ms up and catching them in our mouth. Now, that was such a fresh memory, and I realized that that teenager hadn't left me. That teenager was still in me and enjoying the noise that was going on out in the hallway. And when you think about it, we still carry with us everybody that we have been, every stage of our life that we've been through. And it's so important for us to keep in contact with that inner person and all those people, all those characters, everything that we've lived through in those different stages of life, because we still are all of those. We still are that inquisitive child, that crazy teenager, the high school graduate, or the newlywed, the young parent. All of those stages still are part of us. And I'm starting to see how, especially as we're getting older, it's so important that we don't lose connection with who we've been, with all of these experiences we've had, and all these people that we were at different stages of life. And I thought of 3 good reasons why we need to keep in contact with that. The first reason is that it will help you to enjoy your life more. When you can see the world around you from different perspectives, it just gives more meaning to everything that you're going through. For example, if you take a small child to the zoo that's never seen those animals before, if you can go through that experience through the eyes of that small child, you'll have a great time. And it's just like that for everything else. If you can see it through different eyes, it makes everything new. Everything is full of wonder and vitality. And another reason that is just so important for us to stay in contact with those parts of our lives is that it can help us to stay in connection with other people that are at different stages of life. And for example, if somebody younger than you is going through some things, you don't want to just relate to them as an older person with all this wisdom and sound advice, but actually be able to connect with people where they're at. Sometimes they just don't need all that advice. What they need is somebody that understands what they're going through and that can help them to deal with things. And as we get older, we have that opportunity to be a blessing to so many people as we can connect to them in that way. Now, the third reason, which to me really is the most important, is that when you look in the mirror, it becomes kind of obvious that things are changing. You don't look like you did before. You look a bit older. There might be some more wrinkles, gray hair, but it can be a reminder that our bodies are getting older. Our bodies are wearing out a bit. Now, I know that on my channel, I talk so much about being strong and taking care of your body, being healthy and protecting your cognitive health. But with everything that we do, we don't slow the fact that our body is aging chronologically. And because of that, it's so important to maintain the focus on what is on the inside. A lot of people can get obsessed about changing the outside because they think that's really the most important part. And if you want to make a few little changes, that's fine. If you want to color your hair or take care of a couple of wrinkles or something like that, that's great. But we've got to stay in touch with the fact that what's important is on the inside and that the inner person doesn't age. We develop, we get better, but we don't age biologically on the inside. And that reminds me of a verse that I found in the Bible that says that although our outer man is perishing, our inner man is being renewed day by day. And I like that thought because it gives us hope that what is on the outside isn't all there is, and what's on the inside is really the most important. And if we can stay in touch with our Creator, then it's even better. I made another video a while back about some things that I do to help me to stay feeling younger in an older body. And I'm going to put that video up at the end here, but thanks for watching this video. And remember, stay strong. And I'll catch you in the next one.